Welcome to World of Marketing Podcast, a Foster Web Marketing production. Here's your host, Tom Foster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Marketing, where I talk with industry leaders about marketing, mindset, and business growth. This episode is brought to you by my own company, Foster Web Marketing. Foster Web Marketing is dedicated to providing cutting-edge, highly customizable websites, marketing video, and strategic solutions specifically designed for law firms, medical practices, and other professional service businesses. Our award-winning web technology and marketing system sets us apart from everyone else. Please visit our website at Foster Web Marketing if you want to know more about marketing that works for your law firm or business. Today, my guest is Sandra Maxey, award-winning philanthropist leading the way to service in the legal community. Sandy has worked in the legal industry for the last 28 years as an accountant. She works at the law firm of Harrity Harrity as their controller. She is on the board of directors at ZERO Prostate Cancer. This charity is very near and dear to her heart, as she has lost her father 30 years ago this October to this dreadful disease. But Sandy is one of my oldest and dearest friends, everybody. Sandy and I go way back. I mean, way back to high school, back to the 80s, back to the future, right?
Yep.
Sandy, it is so great to see you, girl.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Foster. Love you. Love your show, babe.
I love you so much. And you're coming, you told me you're in Florida.
I am what's called a snowbird. So I live in Florida 8 months out of the year. I live in Connecticut 1 month out of the year with my grandkids. And then I'm in Virginia 3 months out of the year.
What? You still got the house here in Virginia?
I have a condo in Reston, Virginia that I bebop back and forth to because my law firm is located in Fairfax. So I have a condo in Reston, Virginia because we sold our house during COVID. So I got a little condo in Florida, a little condo in Virginia, and I bebop back and forth.
Well, okay, so everybody, Sandy and I went to high school together. T.C. Williams.
For the Titans, yep.
Right? And Sandy, one of the things about Sandy is, and I was just saying this to her, she has always been a giver. She is all about community. She's, always, when we were kids, like she's always been the one that brings everybody together, brings the party together, always the one. And so tell me a little bit about this charity. Like, tell me a little bit about this.
Okay, so
because you just won this award. That's why I reached out to you. Like, tell me about this.
I did. So I won a fundraising Bold for Blue award, which is given out by ZERO Prostate Cancer. And ZERO is an organization that I connected with back in 2010. I had lost my dad in 1993 to prostate cancer, so it'll be 30 years this October. And I ran my first race back in 2010 with them called the Dash for Dad on Eisenhower Avenue in Alexandria. Mm-hmm. Now, this organization is actually located in our hometown of Alexandria, Virginia.
Where I am right now, folks.
Where you are right now,
yep.
On King Street, which is where their headquarters is. And so, yeah, I would do fundraising events for them multiple times. And this year, they asked me to join the board of directors. So wow. I'm now on the board of directors for ZERO. And yeah, it's such an important charity. It's huge.
Well, it's so good of you to give your energy and your love to this cause, I mean, and you do this in everything that you do. So let's talk a little bit about what you do. Tell me about your experience working at this law firm.
Right.
Harrity.
So I've been at Harrity Harrity coming up on 14 years now.
Wow.
One of the founding partners, John Harrity, had a heart attack in 2016. And as a result of that, Harrity for Charity was born. Now,
Right.
Harrity for Charity is an organization by Harrity and Harrity that gives 5% of our firm profits away to 4 charities: American Heart Association, Inova Children's Hospital, ZERO Prostate Cancer, and No More Stolen Childhoods out of Maryland. The employees also donate, 100% of the employees at our firm donate to one of those 4 charities out of their paychecks. And
Wow.
so, yeah, we're definitely trying to move the needle and make a difference. By picking 4 charities, it kind of, we were able to give more, obviously, to 4 different charities. So yes, it was born from that. I was so fortunate that the partners chose ZERO as one of the 4 charities to give to, because, you know, American Heart Association, John survived a widowmaker. So obviously
Right.
that's everyone's go-to. They see John's video and they're just like, okay, I want my money to go to the American Heart Association. But what they don't get and understand is that all of us, have men in our lives, and 1 in 8 men are going to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, and that's just shocking to me. I mean, 1 in 8. So
Right.
one of the 8 men that you know will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. But because of ZERO, 99% are living, past the first 5 years. So before that, my dad had a heart attack, and then next thing you know, he has prostate cancer, and he's dead in 4 months. Like, they just didn't have 30 years ago what they have today. And so that's why.
What is your advice to people about that?
So my advice is to get a simple blood test. It's a PSA test. They tell you to wait till you're 50. I just met a young man at the ZERO Summit over at National Harbor, diagnosed at 38 with prostate cancer. And thank gosh he went and got it checked, because, I think this
is treatable.
It is treatable. It absolutely is treatable. And men get nervous, because when you talk about prostate cancer, you talk about interfering with their sex lives, and they get really scared. ZERO has all of these groups, support groups that you can talk to, and they'll tell you what to expect if you do this treatment or if you do that treatment. And they've got people that'll talk to you. I mean, this young man was so lost at the summit because he's like, I'm 38, like, what do I do? Why aren't they advocating for me? So ZERO is advocating for everyone. And I would just recommend at this blood test stage to get it checked out at 40. Like we do, we've lowered the bar for colon cancer, right? Or colonoscopies. So I'm saying at 40, 45, just ask for a simple PSA test. With that test, it will tell you your markers.
So hear that, guys? You don't need to go in and get, the thumb in the butt.
That's it. It's not
the thumb in the butt.
It's not.
It's just a little blood test, okay?
That's
we can all do that.
Yes.
That's good to know, Sandy.
I know, right? Because it's and with the treatments, with AI, artificial intelligent robotic treatment, it's amazing that they can actually, back in the old days, they're shooting a gun up and grabbing specimens. Nowadays, they're doing an MRI assisted, biopsy with a needle. Is so easy and so painless. I mean, well, I can't say it's painless because I never had it, right. But I can tell you that a friend of mine just went through it and didn't experience an ounce of pain. So,
yes,
making big strides in prostate cancer, big strides.
Yes, well, very good. And thank you for being on top of this and, looking out for us guys. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about how you got started. I want to know about how you got involved. I mean, I know how you got involved in the charities, but how did you get involved? How did you get to start working at the law firm?
Yeah, so definitely an interesting journey, right?
I know you've had an interesting life.
Yeah. I back in the day when we decided to go to college, you didn't get to. I didn't have parents that drove me around and said, oh, go to this college, or go to this college. I kind of just ended up applying to Virginia Tech and getting in. And for all you Hokie fans out there, God bless you, but that college is not for me. No, it was after 4 hours and ending up in the mountains, I was like, you can't leave me here. Like, this is not acceptable, but they did. And I can tell you that after a year at school, I just was like, this is not for me. And I up and moved to California. And so after reevaluating my life and, deciding like what I really wanted to do, it turns out that I really wanted to be an accountant. So headed back to the East Coast, landed at American University in the district, fell in love with accounting, ended up getting my first job doing payroll at a law firm, and then just worked my way up in the law firm to being a controller. And
so you've always done accounting in a law firm? I've
always done, for the last 28 years, I've done accounting. Yeah. So I love math. I love accounting. And so that's how I got my start in law firm. I was at a video chain doing their books, and then decided I wanted something different. And an Alexandria law firm took a chance on me. And so I've been at 3 law firms for the last 8 years.
So where were you before? What are all the firms you were with?
So the first firm I was with was Oblon Spivak, which are in Alexandria, Virginia. I was with them for 3 years, and then I kind of got stolen away from a very amazing mentor of mine, Kathy Hall, who worked for Burns Doan on King Street in Alexandria. That firm was purchased by a GP firm out of Pittsburgh, and because accounting was done in Pittsburgh, and I have no desire to move to Pennsylvania, I reached out to some coworkers that previously worked at Burns Doan and ended up finding out about Harrity Harrity and fell in love with them in 2009. So this will be the last law firm I work for.
For sure.
For sure. I love them. I love all the work, the charity work they do, the philanthropy services, the DEI stuff that we do. I mean, this firm is just the most amazing firm I can ever imagine. And it's a law firm. Like, it's great.
Tell me about a moment that you're most proud of.
What I think about most, like I'm a very spiritual person, and I have 2 daughters, and I can tell you that I'm 100% a person that likes to give back. Okay, I believe that the more you give,
you definitely are a giver.
The more you give, the more you receive back.
That's
and
right.
So I started taking lessons on how to teach self-defense. It's called rape aggressive defense training, and I wanted to teach these to women at school, because back when my daughters were going to college, Yardley Love was assaulted. I was a victim of a sexual assault at the age of 11, and I should say survivor. I'm a survivor, not a victim. So I wanted to be able to send my daughters off with the tools that they need to be successful. So I make them take my classes. I make all my friends' daughters take my classes before they go to college, because, even though I have a concealed permit to carry and I have mace, I am not that person that's going to stick a gun in my yoga pants or remember to have my keys when I'm jumping out to the ATM. The car is going to be running. The mace is going to be on there. And so everything that I have to defend myself is right here. And so teaching women that was the most amazing thing. Before COVID, I was working with the Vienna Police Department. I was working with the Manassas Police Department, and I was working with George Mason for this program. And that to me is like something that I'm very proud of. I currently want to teach this to seniors down here in Florida. So I'm trying to get trained for those wheelchair people, and just keep up. Just keep on giving. Keep on giving.
You're such a giver. I mean, like, you do so much for other people. Do you have any mentors or others that you look up to?
Oh, absolutely. We all have, at least I hope everyone in my friends every one of my friends has someone that they can talk to. But, I have this inner circle of amazing people, John Harrity, Paul Harrity, Patricia Barnett. Those people inspire me to do better. They inspire me to read, to not just, see things for face value, think outside the box. So Kathy Hall has always been my number one fan when it comes to accounting, and I got to work with her early on in my career. So yeah, I do have some amazing people in my life that inspire me to be a giver.
And so what are some, like, you have such great energy.
I do.
You really do. You always have. What are some, like, you have any daily rituals that keep you going?
I do. So I can tell you that I wake up every morning and I meditate. I then check my email, and then I go and I play pickleball for 2.5, 3 hours every single day. So
that's great.
That is my daily ritual. So yes, I'm a huge believer in taking some time for yourself and meditating, and taking.
And so, like, let's talk, like, meditate. When you're saying you meditate, how do you do that?
So I do. I am one of those people. When you talk about my energy, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. So I'm one of those people that has a very hard time of quieting their mind. And so the way that I meditate is usually guided meditation. And that's someone just relaxing you, making you focus on your body, your deep breathing, and putting your mindset into a good, healthy mindset for the day. It's just one great way to start your day. And guided meditation does that for me. Then if I'm focusing on anything, I'll do like mind movies, like just to gear my mind towards something that I'm focusing on. It could be balancing my hormones or something like that. And so what it does is it just kind of gets you in tune with your body so that exactly that maybe a little anxiety you're feeling here, starting off your day in the morning with meditation kind of calms you, balances you, brings you balance in your life.
Do you use like an app or something?
I do. I use Kathy Preston, her guided meditations for healing, health, abundance, loving relationships. She's just one of the many people. Like, YouTube has tons of meditation. I actually heard someone talk to me about walking meditation, because some people who can't sit still, it might be hard for them. And walking meditation is just, quieting your mind and listening to music and observing nature around you, not thinking about what you need to pick up at the grocery store, what you have planned later on for the day. But it's just an amazing tool to keep your life in balance, an amazing way to start off your day.
That's great advice.
Thanks. I love it.
Fantastic. Yes. So, Sandy, I've known you for many, many years, and I know some of the things that you have done, but what is the craziest thing?
By far the craziest thing I've done is jumped out of an airplane because I thought I was afraid of heights.
Oh, so you've done that?
I did. I jumped out of an airplane. That's probably the craziest thing I've ever done. And what I didn't realize...
When did you do that? When?
I did that about 10 years ago. And the reason why is because...
So I did not know you did that.
Oh, yeah. Because I thought I was afraid of heights, and I thought that would cure it. That did not. It turns out I'm not afraid of heights. It turns out that I am afraid of ledges. And this is how I found this out. So we do these, and Tom, I know you do these virtual, leadership group, team building stuff, right, with your team. Right. So we are in Orlando doing these Oculus AI, virtual reality, the games, right? I am sweating. I can't look over the ledge because there's clouds. Everybody's killing me. So I'm crunched down in behind a building so that they don't find me. And they're all my coworkers are finding me and killing me again. And so I realized that I just don't like looking over. So in the virtual reality games, there's this one that we play is shooting zombies. I can't look over the house, like I can't be on a roof and look over because I got sick.
I know what you mean. I feel the same way.
That's it. So apparently it's vertigo. So it's a fear. It's not a fear. It's just your brain doesn't realize that you're not on the roof.
That is interesting. I feel the same way because like when I'm in an airplane, I'm not like afraid.
Right.
Like when I look out down, I'm not like, oh, I'm afraid. No. But if I'm like in a building and I'm like at a ledge or on a balcony or something like that, like I feel like this, like I feel a fear there.
Yeah, and I've actually seen videos where people who are bungee jumping, and when they look down, I actually get sick.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's vertigo. So you're not afraid of heights; you're afraid of ledges.
Wow, good to know.
So I didn't need to jump out of an airplane. My dad was a pilot in World War II. He would have said, why would you want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? I know, right? So,
well, it was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Nope.
Very good.
Nope.
So do you watch podcasts or listen to podcasts?
So
what are some of your favorites?
So, of course, Foster Web Marketing.
Oh, right.
I am a pretty big audiobook avid self-help reader. And I haven't really gotten into podcasts. I can't really tell you like.
Well, what's a good book? What's a good book then?
Oh, so I've got some favorites out there. I always recommend The 4 Agreements.
Okay.
If you've ever read that. Another favorite is The Happiness Advantage. If you've got some negative people who always see the negative in your life, give them a copy of The Happiness Advantage. It's just such an amazing.
What is it? The Happiness Agreement?
Happiness Advantage.
The Happiness Advantage. Who's that by?
I said, Sean, who is that by?
We'll find out.
You find out. But yes, Happiness Advantage is such an amazing Sean Anker. That's Sean Aker. Yeah.
Okay, Sean Aker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Such an amazing book. When we talk about our leadership team, a couple, there's a couple. Getting More is a great book. It's all about negotiations and
right.
seeing. And I used to do this with my kids, right? You want to be able to have a negotiation with them, not just give them what they want. You want the end result to be what you want, but you want to kind of show them the way to say exactly what you want. So Getting More is a book we actually send all new employees. Getting More and Getting More and The 4 Agreements. Because The 4 Agreements is it's definitely a game changer. The 4 Agreements is a game changer. I'm not going to say our age, Tom, but in your 30s, you kind of we're worried about what people think, and we're making assumptions that what we're seeing is about us, and so my biggest advice to people is to tell yourself a different story. I love that advice. And what I mean by that is, you're behind someone that's going really slow on the freeway and they won't move over, or someone just cut you off. Instead of that immediate reaction to get angry, tell yourself a different story. Tell yourself that maybe he's rushing home to see his wife who needs to go to the hospital, or maybe he's trying to get to the hospital to see a dying parent. If you just tell yourself a different story, so much less stress, so much less anger. So, you just tell yourself a different story.
So you said that you send these books out to your employees?
We do. As soon as they start with the firm, we send them the books. We send them a Harrity Yeti. We'll send them a nice polo shirt that has Harrity on it, which I'm not wearing today. So it's just like a welcome basket.
That is nice.
Welcome
So
to the firm.
how many employees at Harrity?
So we are at 76 now.
Wow.
76. And when I started, it was close to maybe 18.
Wow.
I know, we've grown. We've grown.
And forgive me, but what area of law does Harrity and Harrity practice?
Right. Harrity and Harrity is in patent law.
Okay, very
So
good.
they do patent pros and prep for really mechanical and then mechanical and engineering space. Usually patent engineers can work in chemistry, litigation, interference, bio, but yeah, we do mechanical.
Very busy. Very busy.
We have been. We have been.
So on that, so you brought it, the pandemic. How disruptive was that?
So what was so amazing about our law firm is that we already had remote people. So we already were under the impression that, people could work from other parts of the United States for us and still, and maintain a virtual environment for all of our work. So once we had already migrated to the virtual environment, when COVID hit, we just sent the rest of the people in Virginia home with equipment because we had already been set up in the cloud. So we were way ahead of everyone else. We sent them home with equipment and never went back. So we still have about 3.5 years left on our lease and we're trying to sublet it, but we haven't been back, which is why I up and moved to Florida because I could. That's
fantastic. That a similar thing happened to me. I mean, when I had my place in Fairfax, and my studio, and then that's done. I'm out of that place, and I bought this beautiful place in Old Town. You got to come see.
Okay.
The place when you come back. When you come back home.
Okay.
You got to come see it. Well, listen, Sandy. It has been wonderful having you on my podcast.
Thank you so much for asking me. Like this, if I could just reach one person that listens to your podcast to go get a PSA test.
Right.
Winning.
There's a bunch of dudes that listen to my podcast.
I need dudes to go get their PSA test. I need dudes.
Listen to Sandy, okay? Listen, go get your PSA test. All right, everybody. It's been Tom and Sandy on the World of Marketing. Sandy, you stay. It's been Tom and Sandy on the World of Marketing. You all have a fantastic day. You take care.
Bye, guys.